Want to turn our attention now to Australians that have heard from family and friends in Iran for the first time since a communications blackout in their home country. Aspen Blomfeld joins us now from Hobart with this story. Aspen, Australia have been receiving several messages. We're now starting to get a clearer picture of what has happened in Iran. There's one report in the Times in the UK that cites doctors that have been able to communicate with the outside world, saying perhaps more than 16,000 people have been killed in these protests, the worst of it over 2 days. What are you hearing from some of these Australians?
Yeah, Laura, these Iranian Australians have heard from family and friends, as you say, for the first time since this communications blackout. I've spoken to a number of Iranians here in Hobart who say their family and friends are okay. However, some have been arrested. It follows those brutal killings, these subsequent government crackdown and the communication blackout. As you say, we're starting to get a clearer picture as to what's happening. The Iranian regime is allowing 1 minute outgoing phone calls to international numbers. So those restrictions are starting to ease, but it's important to note that these are only outgoing phone calls. It's still very difficult to get communication into the Middle Eastern country. There are concerns that these outgoing phone calls are being monitored by the regime and that the high costs to place these calls is directly funding the Islamic Republic. Let's take a listen.
3 days ago, they just let one-way call from Iran. 1 minute, by the way, very expensive. That's how they're getting money. And that 1 minute, my mom called me, my sister called me, and my mom said that my cousin's son has been arrested. As soon as my mom said that, my sister said, "Oh, don't say that on the phone," because it's just 1 minute, but they're listening to you.
We've seen those pictures over the past few days of Iranian Australians and supporters protesting across Australia, showing their support for those in the Middle East. There are about 100 people at a protest down here in Hobart over the weekend, trying to draw attention to what's happening in the Middle East. Despite these brutal killings and the subsequent government crackdown, the people I've spoken to remain hopeful and they want to return to Iran by the end of the year.
What would it mean for the country to finally be free? What would the first feeling be?
I can't even describe it. I was born after revolution. I've never seen free Iran, but hopefully one day I will.
Some very emotional scenes there, Laura. This year marks 47 years of the Islamic Republic.